What's up? I'm gonna do a quick video on Google reviews. This is for the customer out there who's giving a Google review. Listen, when you do a Google review, say if a certain barber cut your hair, say if I cut your hair. If you were not happy with it, before you go and bash the company on Google, discuss what you were not happy with and see if it can be resolved right there. So I've had customers who have cut their hair and said, man, you cut it too short. You know what I said? No charge. Next time you come back, we'll do it right. For now, there's no charge. Never got a bad review. When you give a review to a shop, all right, now if you're reviewing the shop was filthy, the word shop is in it. Shop was filthy. Shop didn't have this, the shop didn't have that. You're reviewing the shop. All right? If a certain barber cuts you, review that barber in the shop. So say if you got a cut from a barber I had named John, for a random name. John Doe. John Doe did a haircut that you were not happy with. In your review, you put, I went to the shop, this and that. Granted, you're mad already if your hair got messed up, but you say, I sat in John's chair. John messed up my hair. John didn't try to resolve it. Now, and then if the owner jumped in it and didn't try to resolve it, yes, now it's the whole shop's problem. But you got to remember, us as shop owners, when you give review to the shop for a barber that did something that was out of my control, it's not right. And one thing you got to realize is this. So you have certain shops, and I know it's hard for you to tell, but 99% of shops, when you walk into a shop, the barber rents that chair. So he is renting that area. So when you go sit in his chair, you're getting his experience. You're walking into my shop, but you're getting his experience. Same thing if you walk into a restaurant. You're going to a restaurant. It's not really comparable, but you're getting the experience of that waiter who waited on you, and they're gonna give you the experience. And you bash that waiter, not the whole shop. Now, if it's something that the owner could have fixed and didn't, yes, then it falls on the owner. But if you get a haircut that you're not happy with from a barber, make sure you get that barber's name and you put it in your review and say, this barber specifically, I wasn't happy with his haircut, however you want to say it. I wasn't happy with his haircut. Don't go and say, I walked into so-and-so barbershop and they messed up my hair. Now, when you're saying I messed up your hair, people are looking at it like the shop itself messed up your hair. So they're going to be wary of the shop. Now, if you target the person who messed up your hair, when they come into the shop, they won't go to that person, as that person pays for their section. They rent that chair and that table that's in that corner. So they're independent. Okay? So when you give your reviews, give it to, if you want to give a review to the shop itself, awesome. But if you're gonna pinpoint something and give a bad review and say, I got a bad haircut, by who though? Because when you get a bad haircut from somebody who pays to rent a chair in my shop, which they are independent contractors, you are giving a bad review to my whole shop. So be very specific, because I'm the kind of person, if you leave a review for my shop for a haircut I didn't do, I'm gonna go blast that barber. I'm gonna say, listen, this barber cut your hair, not me. Sometimes I do a cut someone's not happy with. My name is on it. I will apologize and respectfully answer. And usually I offer to give you a free haircut, free to give you a refund. If the services you were not happy with that we charge for, you don't need to pay. You shouldn't have to pay for a service you're not happy for. That's my policy. So remember, when you're giving reviews, when you walk into a shop, you're walking into a shop. So if the shop itself gave you a problem, review the shop. If the barber in the shop gave you a problem, you review that barber. That barber with his name. Ask for the barber's name. And if you want to give a bad review, I really wouldn't give a 1 star to somebody because a barber got messed up, because when you give a 1 star, you're giving my whole shop 1 star. You're bringing my whole rating down. So what you want to do is you might say, I'm gonna give a couple of stars. The shop was clean, but this one barber jacked me up. I wouldn't go sit in his chair. I get that. But don't overall give the whole shop a bad review for one barber that's an independent contractor. You have to remember that. In barbershops, people pay to rent that spot. Same thing like if you're going to a storage unit place, all right? You go to a storage unit place, you rent the little, same thing like you rent the little unit, and you are in charge of that unit. You as a renter are not in charge of the whole building. You're in charge of that unit you're renting. Same thing in my shop. Imagine my shop is a storage unit. I own a storage unit, and I have little units I rent out. You go sit in one of their units that they rent out, that they're responsible for. Their services are in their unit. Now, if you come to me and we try to resolve it, and I'm mean to you, I'm disrespectful to you, me being the owner, I reflect the whole shop. The whole shop. Because I control what goes on in there. Now, a lot of times when I'm cutting hair, I'm not paying attention to my guys because they pay to be barbers. They have to know how to cut hair. Now, granted, not every cut is easy to do. Okay? People cut hair different. Just remember, when you're putting your reviews in, don't review the whole shop. Review the barber you had a bad experience with, or the person. Now, if you had an experience with the whole shop was filthy, bathroom was disgusting, people were running around, there was no control, that falls down on the shop. But when you walk into the shop, have a pleasant experience, and then sit in a chair in that person's area they rent, you're reviewing them. Remember, review the barber that cuts you, not the whole shop. Please. Once again, thank you for watching this. I hope this helped you guys out. Stop by the shop anytime, get a cut. And if anybody's ever not happy with something, you come see the owner. Say, I want to talk to the owner, and resolve it before you go and bash the whole shop. Because the owner might just give you a refund. The owner, remember, hair grows back. Hair grows back. So hair grows back, but your rating stays forever. When your hair grows back and you come back to me to fix your hair and you're happy, that review, that 1 star stays forever, but you're happy when you walk out after it gets fixed by a different barber. Please keep that in mind. All right? Out.